How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're finally going to be continuing What If Goku Remembered the Saiyans. If you missed the previous 5 parts of my most popular What If, make sure to click the link above to check out the playlist on this scenario. Yeah, I know, it only took me 4 months, but I finally made a playlist for this one, so you can check them all out a little easier. If you guys also want to suggest more playlists I should make for What Ifs, or just want to chat with me in general, make sure to follow me on Instagram, over at DamonIsHere, I guess. Or if you just want to chat with others who like this channel, and Dragon Ball, make sure to join the Discord server, which is linked down below. You can talk with others, discuss the latest Dragon Ball news, my latest What If, and occasionally we play Among Us over there too. So if any of that sounds interesting to you guys, make sure to join the server. I bet you'll have a lot of fun over there. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. King Piccolo and his 2 Saiyan comrades have finally arrived on planet Namek to discover Piccolo's origins. I also realized I didn't have a name for Piccolo's 2 comrades, so I decided I may as well go back to What If Broly Was Never Exiled, Part 2, and take some comments from there to see what good names would be. After looking through some again, I decided to land on Western Draco's names of Kukuba and Urbit for these 2 Saiyans. So, thanks a lot, man. I know it's not the Saiyans he was suggesting the names for, but thanks anyway for the suggestion. Piccolo, Kukuba, and Urbit look around the planet using their scouters to detect any signs of life. Piccolo looks over his home, feeling that this is where he was born, but he feels very little sentiment. He's getting certain memory flashes of his people, and is sickened by how nice he remembers them being. He's supposed to be the great demon king, but no, he's just a lowly weak Namekian. He's going to have to show these people to embrace their demonic side, and take their rightful place as rulers of the universe. Kukuba and Urbit are actually down to this plan, as they were getting pretty tired of being all goody-goody on Earth. So they go along with Piccolo's ideals. The group make their way to their first Namekian village, where Elder Mori and the others reside. Mori is interested in meeting a new Namekian, and wonders how he's never met him before. Piccolo tells Mori that he was sent to Earth after a large cataclysm years ago, and now he's returned to teach his people the correct way to go about life. Mori doesn't quite understand what Piccolo is trying to say, but Piccolo explains that the world deserves to be ruled by hatred and terror. After his time on Earth, he realized how pathetic and weak the good were, and how they deserved to be exterminated. They were weak, and the stronger of them were weak-minded, and their ideals were nothing compared to what he has in mind. All he wants are his Namekian brethren to join him in ruling over this universe with an iron fist, and watch millions of people's faces twist in terror just by the sheer mention of his name. Mori and the other Namekians are dumbfounded by Piccolo's speech and disgusted at the same time by how one of their own can even think of such evil deeds. The warrior Namekians step up and tell Piccolo that they don't want any part in his evil deed, and he's not a true Namekian. He can sense that now. He's a pure evil being, which is something they haven't seen in the Namekian race in generations, and the warriors are not going to allow the Demon King to achieve his goals of world domination. Piccolo and the Saiyans aren't going to allow these warriors to stand in his way, and they engage in battle. Now, as we saw in canon, these warrior Namekians had a power level of around 3,000. Piccolo in canon was around a 300-ish power level by himself, which doesn't even stack up anywhere near these guys. Except Kukuba and Urbit are Saiyan elites, who range around 10,000 in terms of power. Since these 2 took Piccolo under his wing, Piccolo trained with them, and got a pretty huge buff in power. After training for many months with these 2, his power increased to around 5,000. Still not on the level of the Saiyans, but very impressive for him, as he is still very old, and can still keep up. The Namekian warriors are easily defeated, and Piccolo tells Kukuba and Urbit to not kill them. He is able to sense that these warriors aren't working independently. They're actually fusions. Kukuba is confused, and asks what Piccolo is talking about, and Piccolo explains that fusion is a move that the Namekians can use to increase power. The only reason he knows that is because fusion was something Kami wanted to do to rejoin and ruin his reign of evil. So apparently it's something all Namekians can do to increase battle power. Piccolo puts his hand on the unconscious Namekians and screams out, beginning the fusion process. After a blinding flash of light, the warrior Namekians are gone, and Piccolo stands there laughing in triumph. Not only did his strength increase, but his looks as well. He has regained his youth after fusing with the Namekians, and is now stronger than Kukuba and Urbit. Unfortunately, since the fusion wasn't consensual, Piccolo's power didn't increase as much as it should have, but it's now at a whopping 11,000. The Saiyans are extremely impressed with this new power, and if Piccolo can increase his power so much like this, then they'll have no problems whatsoever in overtaking the planet and the universe. Piccolo tells the 2 to go out to other Namekian villages and gather all the Namekians here, so he can fuse with them to get even stronger. To speed up the process too, Piccolo creates tambourine, drum, and cymbal to go out and do the same. The Saiyans and the demons track down the other villages, defeat their Namekians, and bring them back to King Piccolo, allowing him to fuse with them and gain even greater boosts in power. Grand Elder Guru senses the death and destruction of Namek, and sends in Nail to go stop this threat before it's too late for the Namekian people. Nail flies off and arrives at Tambourine's location, killing him easily and telling the survivors to flee to the Grand Elder's location, as that's the only place that they'll be safe. Nail continues going out and killing the children of Piccolo, which eventually leads Piccolo to him. And Piccolo is insanely impressed on seeing how strong Nail is. Nail is infuriated by looking at Piccolo. He's absorbed so many of his people, and will continue to do so unless he does something. Nail rushes in to battle Piccolo, but is taken down by one punch from him. Piccolo at this point has fused with half of the Namekian people, which has increased his power to well beyond that of even final form Frieza. Yeah, Namekian fusion isn't something to mess around with. It can increase powers thousands-fold, as we saw in the Tournament of Power. All of Universe 6 Nameks fused into 2 Namekians, and these two were able to compete with Gohan and Piccolo. So I'm 100% sure Demon King Piccolo here would defeat Nail with little to no difficulty. Fusing with Nail grants Piccolo a gigantic increase in power as well, and gives him more knowledge on the Grand Elder. Piccolo fuses with all of the remaining Namekians, and is finally face to face with Guru. Piccolo knows that if he forces the Elder to fuse, then the Dragon Balls of this planet will become inert, so he tells Guru that he's going to be left alive here by himself, only to keep the Dragon Balls activated. Kukuba and Urbit don't even recognize Piccolo anymore, as their power pales in comparison to his. With all the Namekians inside of Piccolo now, and all these new fighting styles and techniques, his power is now on par with Golden Mecha Frieza, and even exceeds him in power. Yeah, Namekian fusion doesn't mess around. Urbit asks Piccolo if they're going to return to Earth now, and Piccolo tells him that of course, as there's one Namekian left there, his other half. Once he fuses with his other half, his power will increase even more, and nobody in the universe will be able to stop him. Piccolo summons Purunga, and with his first wish, he revives his demon children who were killed by Nail, and with his second wish, he wishes for all of their potential to be unlocked, as they learned that was a move that Grand Elder had. Once everybody present has had their power increased even more, Piccolo uses the final wish to transport all of them back to Earth. Piccolo arrives at the Saiyan castle, and immediately executes King Vegeta, telling the Saiyans that he is now their new ruler, and if anybody objects, he'll be more than happy to send them to the afterlife as well. Vegeta senses his father being killed, and he goes off to see a monstrous Namekian standing in the place of his father. Vegeta can sense that his power is gigantic. What exactly happened to make a Namekian this strong? Vegeta decides to transform into his new Super Saiyan God form to battle Piccolo, and regain the throne. Piccolo is impressed to see a Saiyan this powerful, and is up for the challenge. Piccolo and Vegeta begin their fight, with Piccolo surprisingly having the edge in technique. Piccolo fights brutally, and he doesn't have the honor of fighting by himself, as he has his minions come in and fight Vegeta too, once he loses his footing. Vegeta is trying his hardest to slow Piccolo down with his Final Flash and Gallic Guns, but Piccolo has perfect regeneration, and once he is dealt damage by Vegeta, he just instantly regenerates and fights back more and more savagely. Vegeta is beginning to lose ground extremely quickly, and even reverts back to base form on death's door. Before Piccolo is able to finish the job, however, Nappa arrives, kicking the Demon King away in his own god form. With Piccolo knocked away, Nappa lifts his fingers up in the air and completely obliterates the Saiyan castle, killing the demons and Kukuba and Urbit. With his allies gone, Nappa believes he can handle the Demon King himself. Piccolo is extremely angry for his recently revived demons to be killed right away, and he takes out his anger on Nappa. Nappa is weaker than Vegeta in his own god form, but without demons helping out Piccolo, Nappa surprisingly gets the advantage. Piccolo and Nappa battle it out, with it seeming like neither one is tiring out. Nappa's brutal wrestler style is getting Piccolo in the back foot, as multiple heavy shots are being dealt, and Piccolo can't regenerate all of these shots. Piccolo erupts in rage, as even with all of his power he got from Namek, he can't defeat a single Saiyan. All he needs now is his other half, and he will never be defeated. Piccolo launches a blast towards the ground, blowing up smoke everywhere, and he escapes Nappa's point of view, suppresses his ki, and rushes towards Kami's lookout. Nappa has no idea that Piccolo would be heading to Kami, so he just reverts back to base and goes to help out Vegeta. Kami can sense that Piccolo is rushing up towards him, so he quickly notifies Bardock and the others, and rushes into the hyperbolic time chamber, trying to hide himself from Piccolo. Piccolo arrives on the lookout, and searches everywhere for Kami, and finds nothing. He destroys huge chunks of the lookout, screaming for Kami to come on out. Bardock arrives at the lookout, and goes in for a punch on the Demon King. Piccolo blocks the punch easily, and sends Bardock flying back towards what remains of the lookout. Piccolo launches a Hell's Flash at Bardock, attempting to finish him off right away, but God Goku comes in, and knocks it away. Raditz goes up to his father, and helps him back on his feet, while Kakarot begins his battle with the Demon King. Kakarot is surprised on how powerful he really is. He's even more powerful than Golden Mecha Frieza. How did that happen? Piccolo's mental state isn't all there right now anyway, since he's extremely hell-bent on finding Kami, so he's fighting very savagely. This ultimately is what's getting him beaten. Kakarot can easily dodge Piccolo's attacks and counter just as easily, since Piccolo is going off of rage and has no thought in where his strikes are going. Kakarot completely wipes the floor with Piccolo and leaves him crippled on the ground, not having enough energy left to even regenerate himself. Kakarot feels pity for the Demon King, as he actually is really powerful, but he lacks training. Maybe if he went out and trained to get stronger, he could fight him again. Piccolo curses his Saiyan, and he spits out one last egg and sends it towards the ground, telling Kakarot that his child will take his place and completely rule over this universe. Raditz teleports in front of Kakarot and unleashes a full-power double Sunday, completely wiping Piccolo off the face of the earth. Raditz then turns around and smacks Kakarot in the head, telling him not to pull a stupid move like that again, as who knows what he could have done if he was spared. Kakarot apologizes and tells Raditz he's right, and the two go to get Kami from the time chamber and help out in fixing the lookout. On the ground, Piccolo Jr. is born and swears revenge on the Saiyan known as Kakarot. And that's where we're going to be leaving this part right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in part 7, which should be coming out pretty soon. So, thank you all for watching, and until we meet again, see you later!
Piccolo, you have no sauce, son, you ain't getting no draw. None is wrong. Piccolo, you have no sauce, son, you ain't getting no draw.